Hello everybody, how are you doing? This is Dominic coming back with a little recap. I've tried to record this a couple times. I keep screwing stuff up, but anyway, I'm just going to give a recap of last week, how my trading went, and cut right to the chase. I had a good week. I was green all week last week. Had a green day every day, and we'll go to the trading journal here and we'll have a look and see. I'll go over my trades for you guys, and we'll just call it a day from there. All right, hold on. All right, let's get back into it. Let's see. So here it is. Here's my week. On Monday, you can see I took a single trade. It was a winner. Came away $170. Let's take a look at that trade real quick. So here's the trade. This is a classic. I'll blow it up really big for you. Classic break of the Donchian channel here. Came up, hit the gold line. I was looking for a break of this. You can see where I had my allowable loss here. That's the gold area, horizontal area. So it came down, broke below. I put my entry in within the allowable loss. It came up, took me into the trade, and just started going my way. I was looking for a break of this low, this pivot here, for my target. So I had my target right here. It came down, started getting close, so I moved my stop down to capture as much profit as possible. And it took me out. As you can see, it would have filled. But $170, that was a good trade. I'm happy with it, and came away with a green day, and that's what I'm looking for, guys, just green days. So then we have Tuesday. Tuesday, once again, I just took a single trade. Let's take a look at this trade. This is going to be the story of my life, getting out of trades too early. But in this instance, I can tell you exactly what happened. I got a little scared, and so I jumped out of this trade a little bit. So, which was really bad. I was looking for, once again, we had a Donchian channel break here, came down, went into the gold line. There's no entry, no entry, no entry until here. So, at which point it also hit the red line. This is a good, nice, solid area here. What I didn't care for is there's a little hiccup here, and then it broke it. So it sketched me out just a little bit. And as you can see, because of that, I put my entry a little lower than I normally would have. Normally I'd have my entry at the top of this gold bar, but because of this, I had a little bit of question. The only thing I liked is that it was off the red line, so that made me feel a little stronger. So at any rate, I got into it here. So that's a good, really good entry. Came down, took me in, and you can see I put my stop here. So it was probably risking $100. It started going my way, and this right here was well over $100 here, and I was thinking about moving my stop up and just capturing $100 and just being happy for the day. And I had some issues with my trading. With Ninja Trader wasn't allowing me to move my target or my stop. It was it wasn't allowing me to click on it, so I was getting a little frustrated. And then, as you can see, it gave me a bunch of drawdown here, and then I was like a little more frustrated. Then it went my way again, and at that point I moved my stop up here, and it came down, basically ticked me out, and would have gone and hit my target if I wouldn't have moved my stop. So I was a little frustrated with that stop movement, and I did it because I was upset by Ninja Trader not letting me move my stop earlier, and then this drawdown. But at any rate, I still up $100. Could have been a lot better, but you know what? I'm trying to just be green, and I was green on the trade, and so I am happy with that. And that's what my plan is, and that's what I just keep on telling myself that. So here we go. Tuesday. Here's what Tuesday looks like, and every single one of these trades where I have two trades, I had a loss first and then a win. And in every single one of these things, my loss was because I shouldn't have taken the trade. And that is something I do want to avoid. It's I feel so much better when I have a loss when it was a solid trade that I should have taken. And I'll go over all these losses and the wins as well. And this is for me, honestly, because I need to talk myself through this so I don't repeat these errors. So here we go. We've got a bust through reset, come down, touches the gold line here. And I really wanted to get in on this trade. And I had my gold bar set up here, and this tail right here would have touched into my entry, and that went well over 40 ticks, would have given me my target. Would have been super happy with that trade. Unfortunately, it didn't come down and grab me after it broke here. It just kept going. And so I didn't get in on that trade. And because of that, when it went up here and came back down, I thought, well, I'll just get in now. Although I knew the move would already happen. This is the move. Now, in my head, I was saying that I really thought it would break this pivot, so I still expected it to keep going. And that was the reason that I went ahead and allowed myself to get into this trade. But it really, I knew better. And I knew this was already the move that I missed. And so I should have stayed out of that. So sure enough, I bought in here, and it went my way like 3 or 4 points right here, and then went and just took me out. And I actually got some slippage because my stop was just below here, and I lost like a point of slippage right here. So that was frustrating. And then it came back down, and now it was sitting on the gold line and the red line, and I liked this big space here. I liked it coming down here, hitting this red line and getting all this hesitation. And I was not about to get this miss again. So I got in as soon as it broke above this red. I got in, and my stop was right on this line, which was just below this pivot. So that was about as big of a stop as I allow myself to have. And then it went my way, hesitated here, and I was super patient. I had my target right above this, and I was wanting it to go to the target, and it came up to here and was jumping around, and I moved my stop up because I was like, you know what? That's pretty good already. I'd be happy with that. And sure enough, it came and took me out. And I don't have it shown here, but it actually continued up and up and up, and it went through this zone up here and just kept going up. So I could have gotten a lot more on that trade. But you know what? Once again, green day, happy with it. I would have been happier if I wouldn't have taken the bad trade in the first place, because then that would have been like a $250 trade instead of a $100 trade. Because my first loss was, significant. All right, so then let's go into Thursday. Once again, 2 trades, win and a loss, $45 positive. Let's take a look at the trades here. And I've got a repeating story happening here. So once again, my loss here was a trade I should have never taken. Now, this trade I took, I was looking for a break. I was looking for, it pulled down into the overnight open, and I was looking for a bounce off that and expected it to at least come back up into the red line, if not all the way back up. And that would have been plenty of money, so I'd have been happy with that. So what happened is it came down, broke up here. I put my entry right here, and you can see I was trying to be a little careful with my entry because I didn't trust this as much. And that was good that I did, because as you can see, it went down and took me out of the trade to the tick. It ticked me out and then went my way. So that was a little frustrating, but the only thing I have to say is that when I look to the left at this point, it had been respecting the overnight open previously. So I expected it to do it again. That being said, the overnight open is not technically one of my trades that I use. And I would like it to be, but it's not really one of my trades. My trades are the gold line, red line. So it did this hemming and hawing here, and then it went up, went into the red line, and it had a little space here. So, but the only thing is it really didn't come from a low other than this. So this was not a good trade. I didn't take this trade either. But it did go into the red line and reacted off the red line. Then it came back up after it gave some space from reacting off the red line, made a new low bottom donkey and channel move. Then it stepped back up into the gold line, and this is where I took my trade. I was looking for break of this. Once again, I wasn't feeling super confident about this trade, so I allowed it to go back up into the gold quite a bit, and it actually kind of just came and ticked me into my entry, where I have my entry at, and then started going my way. I had my stop, or my target, probably about a point below the low here. And so when it came down there, I pulled my target, I pulled my stop down and just was trying to capture whatever I could. And it was a good thing I did, because it actually retraced and came all the way back up here and would have hit my stop. So it was actually a really good instance of me getting my stop here. So sometimes that works out. But at any rate, I was up 45 after that. It's very tempting when you're only up 45 to think, I could probably take another trade. But I did that during the evaluation period for this account, and I always regretted it. So I don't do it. I'm not going to do it. I get green, I'm happy. I get close to break even after I've had a losing trade or two. If I get close to zero again, I close it down. $35 negative, $45 negative, $25 negative. I close it down for the day. To me, that's better than keeping on trading and ending up down 250 or blowing your account. All right, so then we go into Friday. Once again, 2 trades, a loss and a win, $100. All right, let's take a look at this trade. Boy, this doesn't make sense. Oh no, it does. Okay, here we go. So here's my trades for Friday, and we're gonna I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I got into a trade I shouldn't have gotten into, and then I got into a trade I should have gotten into, and this trade I should have gotten into worked. So here we go. Here's my first trade. Came down, went into the gold and the red line here, and I'm like, oh, all right. And for some reason, I thought this red bar broke this green bar, and it does not. It is a dead double top right there. And I got into this entry with that assumption that it broke it. I don't know why I thought that. They did green here, and then this thing started going up green, and I'm like, oh, and I moved my buy target right there. So this was a maximum loss right here, because it came down, hit my target, took me out, and I had that's a $150 loss right there. And I'm like, what was I doing? That's not even a trade. As soon as it hit my target, as soon as it got in, I realized it wasn't a trade. And honestly, I should have just canceled out of the trade right away. I would have. It's a weird how you get this feeling like maybe it'll work out. I'll just see what happens. But the reality is, I should have just canceled out of that trade. It would have saved me some money. But at any rate, comes back up, does this big spike here, gives me a big green bar, and I'm like, wow, that looks beautiful. And then it broke above that, and I moved my entry right to the top of my allowable loss right here. It came back, went like this, and I'm like, well, that's gone. That's off to the races. In my brain, I was like, I'm never getting into this trade. It's off to the races. It came down, bam, hit me, and just started going my way. Up, up, up. And I had my target above this break right here. And you can see how much more money that would have been. That's probably another $120 just to there if I would have just left it alone. Maybe more. But once again, brought my stop up to make sure that I held on to my profits. It took me out. And what happened? Up $100 for the day. That's not bad. I'm still happy with that. So, moral of the story, I don't know what the moral is, but all I can say is that I'm doing good. Here's my total right now. We're sitting at, I'll zoom in on it for you guys. Boy, maybe I will. So we're sitting at 25,882.24. My target is 26,600. So we're about halfway there, guys. A little more than halfway there. Doing pretty good. I'm feeling good. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trading days in, and we're sitting at about positive $900. So that's a little over $100 a day average. I'm feeling good. I'm just going to keep at it. One thing I just keep on having to tell myself is that you've got this. You know, you can do this. This is something you're capable of. You've shown that you can do this. It's like I have to keep reminding myself to be confident when I get into these trades, and it helps. And strangely, I get more nervous before I start sitting down and looking at the charts. Once I start looking at the charts, I feel more in control. I just look at them. I look for my entries. What has helped me is being able to look over the charts at the end of the day. Sometimes I'll look over the charts and I will look for my actual entries, and I will see that I want to say like 90% of the entries I would take look like they're going to fill. And it's okay to lose. It's okay to have losing trades. But what is not okay, and this is what you got to get in your head, what is not okay is to take trades that aren't there. You have got to take your trades. You can't just take a trade because it's looking close to what your trade needs to be. You can't take a trade because you're getting frustrated or you feel like you're missing out of a move. You can't. You got to sit in your hands. You got to stop doing that, because when you do that is when you lose. That's when you blow accounts. Taking trades that aren't there make you blow accounts. All right, that's it for me tonight, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. Again, I hope you guys have a good week next week. Remember, Monday is an early trading day. Probably, I'm not sure. I probably won't trade on Monday. But we'll see. Maybe I'll look at it. I don't know. But either way, I hope you guys are trading well out there, and I wish you guys the best. All right, talk to you later. Bye.